The Design Centre at Mike Wyand Associates, showcasing sustainable building materials. In 2014, plans were made for a new building at our site in West Devon, which would showcase the best of sustainable building materials, including GSL foamed glass, Cecilvit corkboard, Pavatex wood fibre and Thermofleece sheep's wool insulation, Ceciltech breathable silicate paints, and Cridazite stand oil paints. Building started in December 2015 and progressed in key stages. First, the area was cleared and levelled, and trenches were dug on the perimeter of the building footprint. Foundations were set to hold steel stanchions, which provided fixing points for the timber frame. The timber frame, constructed from laminated timber beams, was brought to site in kit form and fixed to the steel stanchions. Battens and OSB oriented strand boards were then fixed onto the roof beams and a waterproof membrane fitted to form the first stage of a living green roof. Once a cavity retainer wall had been built, the glasscrete floor was installed by first laying down a loose fill layer of lightweight GSL foamed recycled glass. A layer of geotextile membrane was laid, then a further 300mm layer of GSL was put down and levelled and compacted using a whacker plate. The retainer wall was also filled with GSL. A damp-proof membrane was laid down in this case as part of the timber frame design to protect the frame. Then a lime screed comprising 2 parts coarse sharp sand to 1 part Cecil natural hydraulic lime NHL5 was laid. A damp-proof membrane is not required in traditional solid wall constructions, where a breathable floor is being installed. For the roof, once the battens, OSB boards and waterproof membrane had been fitted, a vapour-permeable separation layer was put down and sedum trays were laid on top. Around the Velux windows, pea shingle was laid down to allow for improved drainage. The roof space underneath the OSB was insulated with sheep's wool insulation from Thermofleece. Below that, Cecilvit corkboard was installed and finished with the Cecil plaster system. 2 3mm layers of Adhervit render incorporating a fiberglass mesh, finished with a 4mm layer of Cecil finishing render. The left wall of the building was infilled with straw bales. Sheathing ply was fixed over the bales, then Cecilvit corkboard was fixed and rendered with the Cecil plaster system. Externally, the straw bales were rendered directly with lightweight Cecil Eco Cork, which contains cork particles for added insulation. This was then finished with Cecil finishing render. The front face of the building was infilled with Thermofleece sheep's wool insulation, then clad both sides with OSB board. Cecilvit corkboards were fitted to the internal face of the wall and finished with the Cecil plaster system. The exterior face was fitted with a breather membrane and battened to take timber cladding, which was painted with Cridazite stand oil paint. The doors have double glazing panels, and the timber frames were treated with Cridazite base oil and light oak wood lasure. The right wall of the building was also infilled with Thermofleece sheep's wool insulation, then clad both sides with OSB board. Cecilvit corkboard was fitted to both sides, interior and exterior, and rendered using the Cecil plaster system. The rear wall was fitted with OSB board both inside and out to create an unventilated cavity. Internally, it was then fitted with Pavatherm Combi wood fibre insulation boards. Externally, Cecilvit corkboard was fitted to the OSB board, and the wall was finished both internally and externally with the Cecil plaster system. All walls, both internal and external, were painted using Ceciltech breathable silicate primer and paint, and the internal roof beams were painted with Cridazite stand oil paints. Finally, the floor was finished with a floating engineered wood floor. The Design Centre at Mike Wyand Associates, showcasing sustainable building materials.